But the key thing to know is that we as an audience or as theater makers, we should always strive to do real art, true art. So what is true art? So first of all, art appeals to the collective of the human emotion. So what I mean with this is that art appeals to our human emotions, but universal human emotions. So emotions that humankind has been feeling since the dawn of history in every part of the world. So all of us, or every one of us, has felt love, anger, fear, joy. So art touches us in that way. So, but then, how to if art is something so subjective that touches us emotionally, how to properly criticize it or dissect it? So, one way is to, first of all, understand that the human mind can be divided into three aspects: the aesthetics, the intellectual, and the ethical. So if art is appealing to these three key aspects of the human mind, it most probably must be composed of stuff that appeals to these three features. So most specifically, art must have beauty, must have truth, and must have nobility. But it must have all of these all at the same time. So one can be more predominant than the other, but it must have all three at the same time. They cannot be, as art, it cannot really be separated. So we're separating it here, dividing it here, just for us to discuss and appreciate a bit better how art is composed. And by the way, this idea is present in this book, How and What to Read by Sherwin Cody. So even though Sherwin Cody is referring to these aspects regarding literature, so just one particular form of art, I think we can extrapolate to theater and basically to all types of art. So let's have a look of how this works. So visual arts, in this case paintings, they're already beautiful because they're paintings, so they're meant to be beautiful. So, but nonetheless, and they have all three, they have nobility, they have a truth, and they have beauty. So what do you think? So for me, even though they have all three, for me here's more predominant the feature of ethics, of nobility. So we have truth here in the sense that this is representing or commemorating the French Revolution, something that is true, that actually happened. And another truth in human nature is that we like freedom and we fight for freedom. But nonetheless, this painting for me is highlighting more an ethical aspect of human beings and of the French Revolution. Then if we look at Chagall, at this painting of Chagall, so this is actually, I think I read he painted it like 3 weeks before his actual birthday, when his girlfriend was coming to visit. So here, once again, we have that truth of this situation being plausible, being real, but also, for me at least, I think that here is more predominant the beauty. So because for me, the whole situation of celebrating the birthday and being lifted from the floor because of love, for me, that's beautiful. So yes. Then if we see another art form, we see literature, we see that something similar happens. So here in Longfellow's poem, so this poem actually has 9 stanzas. I'm just showing you the first one and the last one. But this poem, for me, even though it has beauty, especially beauty in the rhymes, and it has a lot of truth, so it's actually telling you something that we already know, it does, for me, the predominant feature would be ethic, so would be nobility, because this poem is actually giving you determination to fight, to work for what you want. So then we have a Shakespeare famous Sonnet 18. And here, for me, this one, once again, has all 3 aspects because it's art. But for me here, it would be slightly more predominant, the truth. And I'll tell you why, but this is for me, because I think that Shakespeare is taking things that we know, everybody knows, everybody's experienced a hot summer, And he's using that, introducing those images we already have in our minds, and using that truth to highlight love somehow. So for me, this poem, talking from this perspective that we're talking about art, this poem has all three aspects, but it uses a bit more the truth, that element, to highlight beauty somehow. So, and similarly, in theater, if we were to go and see a play, it depends on the style. If we were to go and see Romeo and Juliet, we most probably will see that it has all three aspects, but most probably one of those aspects will be highlighted, will be a bit more, so will be more predominant. It really depends on the theater makers and on the